How you doing?
Questions were just the same, even though the surroundings are nicer.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Is that it's connected to a loudspeaker?
Yeah.
Well, very official. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Nice to see you guys. It's obviously been a while, about a month. I'll start with injury updates like I do normally. Archie Gray had an incident at home where he stubbed his toe and he kind of fractured a little bit of his big toe. So he's been out of training for about 2 weeks and he'll be out for probably another 2 weeks. Stewart is making really good recovery. He went down to see a specialist and they're feeling like he's doing really well and on track. Obviously, it'll still be some time for him. Adam Forshaw twisted his ankle this week, and so it's not so bad, but he won't be available this weekend. And other than that, every single player is available for us. So we're feeling like we're getting to full strength. I'll discuss before you guys even have the opportunity to ask questions about the suspension. I don't agree with the decision that it was not a penalty on Somerville, and even after they've had an independent panel look at it and say that they don't think it's a penalty, I disagree with that. I disagree with the red card that they gave me, and I disagree with the suspension. However, I respect and accept the punishment, the ban, the touchline ban. I haven't appealed it because I didn't feel that I wanted to do that. I wanted to respect their decision. And for me, it's not the first time, obviously, as a player, I received a couple red cards. As a coach, I've had to miss a game or two in my career. And then when I was in Leipzig, actually, the last 3 matches, I coached from the kitchen with COVID. So this is hardly as bad as that. I'm just banned from the touchline. I can be with them before the match at halftime. In the dressing room, I'll watch the match from the gantry up above, and I'll have communication with the staff. But I believe that the team will be fully prepared and ready, and I know that the staff will also do a really good job in my absence on the touchline. So now we can take some questions.
Jesse, how valuable has the break been in terms of a reset, regroup, getting players' fitness levels back up, and the chance to go again on Sunday with the visit of Aston Villa?
Yeah, obviously it hasn't been ideal, but I thought, given the gravity of the situation with the Queen and her funeral, I think it was absolutely the right decision for the league. I was awestruck by the funeral, by the unity in the country, by the show of nationalism. I think it was a special time to be here to honor the Queen and everything that over her 72-year reign that she had achieved, and the passing of the torch to King Charles. So I understand it and I appreciate it. And then we've gotten a little bit healthier. We've been able to talk a little bit more. We were able to work on a little bit more man-down tactics. We were able to work through a little bit more with set pieces, with some of the things that we want to achieve in all the phases of the match, and I think really push the level of fitness and training every day. So I'm hopeful. I've always tried, whether it was in the lockdown or in preseason moments, when you have these little breaks, to really try to maximize what you're doing with the team. And I'm hopeful that we're healthy, we're strong, we're fit, and that we're really ready to push until the World Cup.
You won't be in the dugout on Sunday. How will that be for you on a personal level, keeping those emotions in check? And you must be confident that the right communication will be getting across to the players.
Yeah, well, I actually like the vantage point of being up high. I think it allows you to see the match better. And I've often considered actually managing or coaching from that position and then coming in at halftime and things like that. And the other part is, a big part of my leadership is about ownership. And that's first for the staff, that the staff comes every day with ideas and that they know they're appreciated and valued, so that they give everything they have to the common good, and that when I make decisions, we're all aligned because they've had their opportunity to affect everything we do. And then that's the same way I treat the players. I want them to feel engaged. I want them to feel valued. I want their opinions to be heard. And I have the types of relationships with them where I challenge them to be good leaders, to be good people, and to give everything they have to the common good. And I think that in moments like this, it will reward us, and it's a test. It's a test to see how good we can be, how much we can be unified, how clear we are with everything on a day where I'm not right on top of everything.
Patrick Bamford started on the bench against Brentford, and a big boost for him during the international break. He scored a hat-trick for the under-21s. What's your gut feeling now, Jesse, about how close he is to full match sharpness? And he's a big player for you between now and, crunch games coming up.
With Patrick, it's always been trying to manage him so that we're pushing him fitness-wise and that he's sharp and playing at a high level. And then also with being careful to not push him too hard and risk him getting other little injuries and little niggling injuries. I think we've managed it well, but it's a little bit of a balance act with him. He's massively important for us. I think in every moment he's been on the pitch from preseason until now, he scored goals. He's been dangerous. He gets chances. So obviously in the Premier League, goals are at a premium, and so I think we will need him, and we will need him to be at his best.
Jesse,
Yeah.
good to see you again.
Hi, Adam.
Wilfred Monto is obviously played for
Yeah.
him again twice. Have you revised your opinion on him that he is Premier League ready rather than not being Premier League ready?
I can say that he has pleasantly surprised all of us, and in almost every way. First of all, there was this video of him and I meeting in my office that went out and almost went viral, which was funny to me because it was a normal interaction of meeting a player. And then I think you can see even in that video his humbleness and his maturity. And then on the pitch and training, he's been fantastic. I thought he was very good in the 21s match against Southampton. He will be in the squad this weekend, and we think he can play a big role for us now. So, yeah, I guess you can say I would revise my statement. And again, that statement had more to do, I think, with the fact that we had targeted him and we identified him, but more for future windows and not exactly this one. But the fact that we're able to start the process early, I think, is really advantageous for everyone.
Just thinking, Jesse, actually, while all those players were away, and they weren't just senior players, they were players on international duty, how much time did you get to actually see what they did for their various countries?
Yeah, I watch almost all of them. And when not, then I have the staff clip like just almost highlights of a 10-minute highlight of all their actions in the match. So like if you take Rasmus Christensen, he was fantastic against France where they got a 2-0 win, and I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch, and he shut down Mbappe in many moments. Then you could go to Elland, and I thought when he played against Germany, he was fantastic with the ball. He made a lot of good decisions. He looked very sharp. Obviously, I watched the U.S. team when they play. They didn't have their best international window, but I still thought that Tyler and Brendan both played well. So yeah, I mean, following all these guys, whether it's 21s, whether it's been Sonny Perkins with the 19s and how well he's performing now, it's important for me. And I try not to coach them in those moments. I just try to add that in terms of evaluating the entire package of where they are, how they're moving forward, and how I think they can help the team in the moment. So I enjoy watching them play with the national team, and I'm always rooting for them. And by the way, the other one to talk about is Luis Sinisterra. How amazing and what a moment in his career for him to score 3 goals in 90 minutes, but against Mexico to come in second half and really spark their comeback. And you could see the way the team appreciated and acknowledged what he did on the day. So I think that Luis continues to show how good a player he is.
You mentioned Rasmus that Luke Ayling had a really good sort of 20 minutes, half an hour at Brentford in a difficult game. Clearly, how close is that for you in terms to make a decision? And on the left side is Junior Firpo.
Yeah, I mean, so now we have on the back line we have Coops, we have Luke, and we have Junior all back, and those guys featured when healthy almost every time for me last year when we played. And I think all three are going to be a big boost to our team and add more depth. Speaking about Rasmus and Luke, I think that I can't make a wrong decision there. They're both playing at a high level. Luke, I think, performed really well. He had to wear a mask sometime because he broke his nose against in the Brentford match. But That will be a tough decision to make, but I know both will be ready. Junior, I think, has gotten more and more fit and healthy and ready to contribute. So I think that's a big boost, and I think Coops is as close to 100% as I've seen him and really ready to go. So we certainly have a lot of options there. Up front, we've got Rodri, we've got Patrick, we've got Joffy. In the 10 position, we've got lots of options. What a great situation for us to have. And now we need to use it where when we come off the bench that we get stronger every match, and that will be the challenge, whether guys are in the starting 11 or whether they're coming off the bench, that everybody's ready to put in top performances and helping us pick up as many points as possible.
How have you managed Diego Llorente after the last performance? It was probably his worst for a while.
Yeah, I think, Diego and I spoke. We looked at a few things. He knew it wasn't his best performance, but he also knows that he's incredibly important, and he's had a lot of really good matches up until this point in the season. He also, I spoke to him and I said, listen, we have to find a way to get Coops and Luke going and everyone, because they're big leaders in our team and really important, and Diego's going to continue to be really important. So again, that will be another decision that won't be easy to make, but I think no matter who I choose, they'll be ready to go.
And finally for me, Victor Orta, how important is he to you in this club?
Yeah.
He has been linked with interest elsewhere.
Yeah, Chelsea. I mean, listen, I'm not surprised that he's been linked to some big jobs. I can unequivocally say that he is very happy here, and we have an incredible relationship. Along with Angus and Andrea, I think we've worked really well as a team. I think we worked incredibly well in the transfer window. I think the way we operated on almost every level in the transfer window has set us up for success in our season. And I'm hopeful that he stays, obviously, because of the relationship I have with him and the expertise and hard work that he puts in to building this club. So, but, he will always, it's the same for everybody in this business, is things come up. People have opportunities. We have contractual obligations. And people have to think about what's best in their lives, in their personal lives, professional lives, what their contract says and means, and then what the opportunities are, and then everyone has to find ways to move forward in the best interest for themselves. However, I can say that the togetherness here, the commitment here from everyone involved is at the highest level I've ever seen. I mean, so much so for me, I don't want to leave. If I got an offer to go anywhere in the world right now to coach football, I wouldn't leave this spot. I'm more happy in my career than I've ever been. And I'm very thankful to be here, and my total focus and our total focus is just trying to maximize what we're achieving every day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jesse, just to follow up on that's a huge statement to make, that you are the happiest that you've been in your career, and you've coached some big places, big countries. Why are you so happy here? What is it about this league and this club that have made you feel that way?
The league obviously speaks for itself, but I tell you, I said this before sitting in the other room. My motivation to coming to Leeds had nothing to do with the Prem. I mean, obviously it's the biggest league in the world, maybe in any sport, but it had so much more to do with what I thought the connections and the energies and the symmetries were with how we think and work. And it's proved to be even better than I had hoped, right? And even in a relegation moment last year, the unity and belief and commitment from every single person to try to be together and to achieve all of our goals was the highest I've ever seen. And in the end, I'm a very open manager. I'm a very interactive and communicative manager. And in the end, honestly, the thing that matters the most to me is that we are a real group that cares about each other, that looks out for each other, that gives everything to each other. And I believe that's the way to formulate success. Obviously, we have to have football details, and we have to work hard every day to iron out the plan and improve what the things we do. But in the end, the thing I care the most about is that we are a real team, a real unit, and that we're willing to do whatever it takes for each other. That we have here.
Aston Villa went through a tricky spell, came out of it just before the break. What are you expecting from them on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, we played them last year. We played them in preseason. We didn't have our best matches in either moments. I think that They have quality on the pitch. They're very organized, especially with the way they defend. And I think that's the thing that's gotten them out of their tough spell in the beginning of the season, is that they've been defending really well and very organized, specifically against the ball. And they can be a threat on set pieces and in transition moments. So it'll be a tight match. I'm sure of that. It will be an intensive match. And we will have to be very intelligent, specifically when we're in possession, on how we balance out protecting the opponent from getting into transition moments. And then, you know, I think at Elland Road, the one thing we will want to do is really go after the game, to be aggressive, to use our crowd, to play with intensity, to play with speed, to play with power, and to play with intelligence. That will certainly be a big part of what we try to achieve on the day.
How important is it? You are unbeaten, obviously, at home, to make Elland Road the fortress that it has been in the past, and to make teams fear coming to Elland Road like they used to?
It is one of our big goals. It is, and again, I said to you, I said to all of you last year when we played against Aston Villa, that I learned a lot about what it meant to play in front of our fans at Elland Road, and we've tried to adjust that, and we've had a pretty solid record when playing at home, and part of it is playing with aggression, part of it is using our fans and the energy and the power of what the entire mood and energy in the stadium is. So yeah, that's really important to us, and if we can be a really strong team at home, it also allows us to play a little bit freer on the when we're on away matches, because we can collect more points at home. Then we can really be aggressive to know that we can still go after games on the road.
And just finally from me, this period is a very busy period, lots of fixtures before the break for the World Cup. How difficult is it to keep everyone in the squad happy? Because they're not going to play every game.
It's not so important that everyone is totally happy, because I know the players, when they don't play, they want to always be on the pitch, and we want that. However, what we want everyone to know is the responsibility of being committed to the group is what can make us special and different, and we have to have a very high standard for that. And we do here. I'm very lucky with the young men that we have in this squad and in this building. So, and certainly ready to perform when called upon, because like you said, when the matches come quickly, you can have injuries, you need rotation at times, you need players off the bench to have big performances. And where we are and who we are right now, we can't take anything for granted. That's for sure.
Great.
Thank you.
How do you keep on top of player development for young players that are probably a bit too good for the 21s, but not quite starters yet in the first team?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the gap right now between the 21s and the first team is a little bit too big. We try to have them, like I like to call in our academy and in our development system, we have, I think, a general direction for the entire academy, and then we have general direction for high talents. And part of the high talents is challenging them at the levels that they need to be challenged in their development path. And for us, guys like Darko, Archie, Sonny, Matteo, we try to include them in first team training almost every day, because I think that them being around that level is very, very important for their development and their confidence. And so the beauty of having those guys around is I don't think anyone in our squad treats them as young players or development players. I think they see how good they are and how much they fit in. Eventually, I would like to give those players bigger and bigger opportunities in the Prem, in cup matches, and we'll see how everything pans out. But certainly the one that comes to mind is when you see Sonny Perkins right now scoring every goal or every game, at least one goal, and developing within the idea of how we want to play football. You start to feel like he deserves big chances and big moments, and he needs them. So let's see what happens here in the next weeks and months. But I'm certainly, with all four of those guys, really pleased.
Where do you see the major growth between the friendly with Villa in the summer and before this game?
I think as preseason went on, our concept of how we wanted to play got better and better. Villa was the first real opponent that we played in preseason that was at our level. And so I think we use that to continue to push ourselves. And I think now the team has gotten clearer and clearer as to what the tactics are and behaviors and exactly how we want to play. That being said, it's going to be a very good match and a very difficult one. And again, I think we know already from not having success against Aston Villa that we have to be at our best.
Jesse, it's been a long time since we spoke. In that time, international duties been and gone. Jack Harrison missed out on the England squad. How disappointed was he? How have you managed that? I know morale's very important to you, and England is important to him.
No, we spoke about it. And what I said to him is that he should feel good about the fact that he's given himself every chance possible by how he's played. And that the squad for the World Cup still has not been chosen. That the squad is 26, not 23. There may be room still for him to continue to play the way he's playing and find a spot. And he's still young enough that even if it doesn't come around this time, that he still has a big future no matter what. So Jack is the type of guy that he comes every day, whether he's disappointed, whether he's proud in a moment, and gives absolutely everything he has to himself, to the team, to everything he does. And he's a pleasure to work with. So I would urge Gareth to I think he knows Jack already, but if he needs a guy in the squad that he could count on at any moment to do whatever it takes, and would also support the entire team to do well in every moment, regardless of whether he's playing or not, Jack is that guy. So it's a pleasure to have him here, and I think he's a great player.
You talked about Luis briefly there. He seems to be going to another level with every game he plays. Like Sonny, he seems to be scoring in every single game. How good can he be, and how excited are you to finally see him playing 90 minutes week in, week out? It's been quite a stop-start, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, his biggest issue, first of all, he's a big talent. We knew that. I said that before when he was injured a little bit at the end of preseason, before we got him going, that we believed in him so much. He's an incredible person, humble, works hard, gives everything. He's intelligent. He adapts really well to environments. And the biggest thing we've tried to do is push his fitness, because the demand we have for the way we want to play is different than I think anything he's experienced in his career. So he's adapted well to the level, and now it's more about pushing his physical fitness level so that he can play the way we want for 90 minutes. And I think he can get there, and I believe we can help him get there. But until then, it was a big travel to come from San Francisco to here. He will play this weekend, no doubt. He's in fantastic form, and I have no doubt that he's going to continue to be a great player here.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yep.
Jesse, it's very bitty at the moment for the non-international players. 4 weeks without a game, 5 weeks of real intensity, and then the World Cup. So how do you manage them in terms of, like you were saying about Patrick before, pushing them hard enough, not pushing them too hard? And how much does it help you that you've had the experience of managing in lockdown? I presume you had a winter break in Austria.
Yeah.
To just learn from those.
Yeah. Yes. And my whole approach is just about maximizing moments and being creative in that and innovative in that, but also demanding from everyone that we don't stop, that we're relentless in our mentality to improve. And so I think we've used this time well. We've done more 11v11 than we normally have, because the fact that we haven't had the games on the weekends. We've done more inter squad 11v11 than normal. And I believe that we're strong, we're fit. The lads have put a lot of work into the gym, which is one of the reasons why they're fit and strong. And even when we've done body mass indexes and these kinds of things, they're at levels that they've never been at. So, right now we feel good about their fitness levels, their concentration levels, their desire, their understanding of the way we want to play. We've moved the needle, and now we have some big tests, and we've got to show that we're ready for those.
I mean, at other clubs in this situation, you might say it's a bit like a pre-season for them, but you had a very good pre-season and you got your signings in early for them. So has it been much like that, or has it been working more on the fitness side?
Well, it's been, big part of it was, when we left Brentford, Junior wasn't healthy, Rasmus wasn't healthy, Liam wasn't healthy, Luke wasn't healthy, Patrick was coming back and starting to be healthy, Rodri wasn't healthy. So now when you look at it, we've gotten all of those players healthy, and I think most of them close to 90 minutes fit. So that's a good feeling, right? But it doesn't ensure anything. That's why I keep trying to say, like, I know in this league, you take nothing for granted. And so I feel good about where we're at, but I know we've got big challenges ahead.
Well, you mentioned Rodrigo there. With his shoulder, was it a judgment call not to send him for an operation, or is he just fine? Because they tend to get degrees with these things.
Yeah. No, I think based on the type of injury and the severity of the injury, everyone figured, including the shoulder experts, that they call it a conservative treatment, which means no surgery. And typically what they say is it's a 4-week recovery, and after that 4 weeks, the percentage of injury is the same: 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 years. So we believe that, first of all, Rodri is a strong man. Like, he's upper body very strong, and that can be helpful for him. He's done a lot of, I think, the right rehab. We've been patient with him, and we've been allowed to be patient because of the situation, and we feel like he's fit, he's strong, and he's ready to go. He's trained really well this week. He's 100% as close to being fit as I think I've seen him, and I think he can be in this situation. So I think we don't have a lot of concerns on that level.
Just to follow on from one of Stuart's questions, have you decided how you're going to manage the break for the World Cup? Because it's going to be upon you pretty quick.
Yeah, we will take 2 weeks, and then we will get back to work. So some of it is obviously, then there's a little bit of how the match against Wolves go, and then are we in the Carabao Cup still? So that'll have a little bit of a factor of the timing of some things, but we feel like 2 weeks is a good time for everyone to get away, and then we'll get back to work.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
Just to go back to quickly the Victor situation, was the link something you just read, or is it a subject that you've spoken to Victor?
Yeah, Angus, Victor, and I had a dinner planned, which we do once every 6 weeks. We went to Iberica, which I thought was a perfect place for Victor to tell us that he was leaving, that it was like his final dinner. But fortunately, that was not the case. But we talked very openly about it, and I told him, it was a little bit of a funny conversation, because one of the things between Victor and I is I basically made him promise that he was going to stay with me if I came here before I came. And I said, but if you get an opportunity to go to a place like Chelsea, obviously with your family situation, I understand you have to consider it. And in the end, he has to make a decision for what's best for him and his family. But I know how much he loves Leeds United. I know how much he loves working with me and with Angus and what we do here with Andrea and everything. I'm hopeful and that he will stay. That's what I'm hopeful for.
Okay, we'll move on to the Sunday embargo section, if that's all right. We'll start with Oscar.
If you want Jason,
Yeah.